I'm trying to see how it pops up on YouTube because it hasn't popped up on YouTube right now. Uh, all right, we're good. Sorry. All right. Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. We're back again with a name now, right? For the Town podcast. We are back in the town. Oh, I don't know how I gotta come up with something clever. Like, I'll figure it out. But that's the intro for now. We're happy to be live again, another episode. Here with my brother,
Manny, you already know.
and I think we have a lot to discuss today. Mainly about the Mets. Man, he has like a eulogy prepared, or I'm not sure what he has prepared.
I'm not gonna go too crazy on you because the Yankees been up and down this week too. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm
He
gonna keep
sent
it.
me.
I'm
He
gonna
was
keep.
very excited to do this episode, you guys. Like he's talking to me about the Mr. Met and Miss Met divorcing. Like
Yes, I was surprised by that. I was like, wow.
I don't know where he's finding this. I don't know who his sources is. Definitely not. It's not Jeff Passan for sure. My man's wouldn't do me like that. but but yeah, bro. Before we even like get to that, like just how's your week been? Like how you been overall?
My weekend has been a little emotional. I think we've discussed this before. I work in education, so uh, the kids had graduation today. I mean, not today, this week.
Yeah,
They had their prom, so it was a little emotional for me. And a lot of my favorite students are gone now. They're on to their next chapter of their life. So it was a great week, but it was also very emotional. And I'm just excited to see what the future holds for them.
that's dope, bro. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And how's your week been, man? How's everything been with you?
It's been all right. Just been. I feel like it's been one of those weeks. Like life was life and hard, but I went to a concert on Friday and that was pretty fun. And then just I took a week off too from work because I was like, yo, this been too much. I got to juggle too many responsibilities right now, so let me just like kind of take a mental break. Sometimes I feel like it's important to just
Yes.
reset or just like
Hmm.
But I was still staying busy. Like I still did like little things here and there, like content wise. But I was like, let me just like kind of reset. Like I spent time with my daughter for the whole week, so that's pretty dope. It was her last day of school, so yeah, man. I just was chilling
Oh, man, you have to do that sometimes, man.
for
Especially
sure.
like us men, we have to take our breaks.
Absolutely. All right, bro. But set it off.
All right, man. So obviously basketball season's over, so we're gonna be focusing more on baseball now. We're almost halfway through the season, and a lot has been going on with our New York teams, our New York baseball teams, but in particularly with the Mets. The Mets have had a very interesting week. They've had an interesting season,
For
but
sure.
this week has been very very interesting with the Mets, including, right, as a lot of you know, right, Carlos Mendoza getting fired. Um, I think they were on a. By the time he got fired, they were on a 5-6 game losing streak. Um, so what do you think about the firing? Was it should it had happened earlier in the season, or was it the right time to do it?
Yeah, I mean, like actually, like I've been. That's why I kind of been like down this whole week because I just been so busy. Just like I've been packing his stuff. Like I've been packing. I've been packing for him. Like it was long overdue. I talked to Steve Cohen's and he was like, should we make the move? And I was like, you asking me like, you should have been asking me since the first day of the season started. But nah, I think it was justified. I know a lot of Met fans are probably gonna say like he could only do so much with the roster they assembled. Like there's a lot of players that were in wrong positions, and so there was a lot of mental mistakes throughout the season and a lot of blown leads. And like, I think you can make that case, and that's fine. I won't like knock you for it, but I do think that something that I mentioned in this podcast, I think the first two episodes or so, I said I just now realized, like, if you were gonna clean house and get rid of all these fan favorites, you might as well also have like fired the manager, because it wasn't a good season. So you had an opportunity to still fire him based on the season that he had last year and just start over with a new manager. And so I feel that had they actually had did it earlier, this team might be in a different place. Just because even yesterday was like classic Mets, right? They fire Mendoza and they come back down 2-0 to beat the Phillies. And funny enough, the two guys that have been so like butting heads are the ones that led that comeback yesterday, Lindor and Soto, which I think Lindor probably is just trying to raise his stock. Like, I feel like Lindor right now is probably auditioning for teams so that way teams can make a move or a play for him so the Mets could trade him. But in terms of Mendoza, I think that he was a good manager. I don't want to disrespect the guy. He had a couple seasons where he did the best he could with what he had, but I don't know. This team's got expectations, and I just think that like this season has not been it. Like, in my opinion, I don't know how you would assess it.
Um, it's a lot from what I've
Mm-hmm.
seen. Is a lot with what I've been seeing with the Mets. I think on paper they're a great team. They got a lot of guys who've had successful careers. Like obviously, like Juan Soto, we can't even, since he started his career, he's been a superstar. Lindor, you know, there's been times where when in his Cleveland days where he was killing my Yankees, and Bob was shed. He was having a great career as well in Toronto before he came to the Mets. And it's obviously as a baseball fan is very disappointing to see these group of guys not being able to click. Because like I said, they're on paper they're great. They've had great careers, but there's a mixture of things where I think that has caused the Mets to be in the position that they're in right now. I think for me personally, I think the number one thing that has really scrutinized with the Mets this year is the chemistry, because I feel like to win a World Series you don't need a group of superstars. You just need a group of guys who who know how to play ball and just get along and just be able to lift each other up if one of them is down. The Knicks, for example, the Knicks didn't have a Kevin Durant or a Stephen Curry or a LeBron James on their team, but they were all boys. They're all
But
boys, and
not to cut
they
not
yeah.
to cut you off though, but what was the difference between last year and this year's New York Knicks team?
Definitely the coaching. The coaching made a huge difference. I do want to get to the coaching though. I
Let's
do
get
want
to
to
the coaching.
I'm definitely gonna get to the coach. Like I said, it's different areas with the Mets. But obviously, even last year with the Knicks, they got farther. They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. And these the players that we've had on the Knicks. I'm talking about the Knicks. They get along. They know how to win together. They have chemistry. And obviously, changing coaches made a huge difference. And I know people. There was Knicks fans surprisingly that were upset about Tom Thibodeau getting fired. I wasn't upset. I actually love the Mike Brown hire because I've seen videos of Mike Brown with when he was with the Kings, and he was one of those coaches. He's one of those coaches that when you come to practice, it's not playing around. There's no vibes, nothing. No, it's time to get to work, and I feel like that's what the Knicks needed. Now I feel like that's what the Mets need as well. I feel like the Mets need a manager that's gonna be like, okay, what's going on here? What's the problem? what's the issue with the chemistry, who doesn't get along, right? And just set things straight and just be like, look, you guys don't have to be buddy buddies after we're out of here after we finish playing. But as long as for the next 3, 4, 5 hours that we're playing, you have to be teammates and you guys have to play together and you have to play for each other. And I feel like Carlos Mendoza, I don't know what was going on in the clubhouse, but I just feel like that's not something I don't feel like he handled well when it came to chemistry. Now, if the whoever I don't know the Mets manager right now, I don't know his name, but whoever the Mets manager is now, whoever the next Mets manager is going to be next season, they have to make sure that that chemistry is intact, because if not, you're not going to win anything. You're not going to play right.
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like I said before, like I just think the coaching was a was a big issue to me, just because you you have to establish a culture and it just wasn't established, and I think that starts with the coach. Like with Mike Brown, like he established that culture like from day one, and he had his ups and downs. Like it wasn't like the perfect Knicks season either. So I do think with the new Mets coach, like which I have heard about like potentially like maybe Albert Pujols, since he coached the Dominican team and he was coaching Soto already. That could be a good hire. I would I would lean more towards Alex Cora, if I'm being honest with you. I think had you like got his entrance interest early, like you could have maybe reached out like and maybe fired Mendoza a little earlier when they started to have that bad slump, because he was available very early too. Surprisingly, the Red Sox had no patience, and well, they tried. I guess another team to talk about for another day, but they tried with Alex Cora, but he did deliver a chip. So I do think when it comes to like management style, I think a Cora type manager would like suit the Mets very well. Um, but yeah, man, I don't know with this team. For me, like they named an interim like coach for now. I don't can't remember the name from the top of my
Yeah,
head, but
I couldn't remember his name. That's why I didn't want to just throw
yeah,
out there.
but for me, if you name an interim, that to me tells me that like you kind of already gave up on the season, because I just don't think how a interim manager it has happened before, but for this specific team, I think you really need to make a hire. I understand they don't want to rush the process and just take their time during the off season, but I don't see them making the playoffs now. I feel like if anything, they're going to be sellers now in the trade market and stuff. So
Okay,
we'll
so who do you think? Okay, so if the Mets are gonna be sellers this trade deadline, who do you think are a couple of guys that are going are leaving or should go?
It's tough to be honest, just because like they did give away a lot of like people during the off season, and so
They already started. The Mets already started selling already.
yeah, they gave up David Robertson. Yeah, somebody
David Peterson.
Peterson. Yeah,
Yeah.
Peterson. Um, I don't know. Cody Senga got moved to the bullpen, so I don't know if you want to keep him in the bullpen or trade him. Like I don't even know if he has any value though, because he was doing so horrible down in AAA. Um, I don't. I want to continue to be patient with Freddie Peralta, so I don't want to say, "Hey, give him away," but I know he's due also for a contract, so that's a little tough too, because you don't know if you should pay a guy like that's having an inconsistent season. He's doing all right, but I don't know, man. I'm trying to think from the top of my head who obviously Lindor is the biggest one. Like that's the one that I think get some value for right now. See if you can get some young pieces or get something for Lindor, because I just don't think him, and although they did well yesterday, I just don't. I wouldn't risk it. I wouldn't like try to see, or maybe you do. Maybe you try to end the season and see where this team stands and then assess. But um, I don't got any names, bro. I want to be patient with the players we got. Like I know Bo Bichette has been inconsistent as well, and I know that a lot of Met fans would probably want to see him gone, but I do think if you get rid of Lindor, then you can fill Bichette in that spot, especially because you already gave him a 3-year contract, I think. Marcus
He has
Simeon,
opt-outs in his contract too.
yeah, Marcus Simeon has been all right. I mean, they had some injuries too, so I'm not sure. They got some young studs like on the left field, and like I feel like the pieces are there. That's the interesting part, right? Like I'm hearing myself right now. I'm just like I don't want to let go of any player because I think they're good. So maybe it's just the coach, bro. I don't know. What do you think?
I think I've been very vocal about this. I think that I think it will be very difficult, but I'm pretty sure the need will come up for a shortstop for some team. I think Lindor has to go. I think I was literally thinking about this the other day. Um, Lindor, since he's gone to New York, it's been documented that he's had issues with several teammates, and this is dating back to his first year. And like I said, I'm a big chemistry guy, so I feel like if you're gonna win a World Series or a championship, there has to be chemistry. I don't want to say Lindor is the main issue, but he's had different issues with different teammates, which are no longer with the Mets organization. So I feel like he's a guy that they should move. One, obviously because of chemistry. Two, because of that money that he's owed a lot of money, and I feel like the Mets, if they unload that money, they could do something else with it. You know what I mean? And obviously they could get some prospects back for him. Um, Unload the money, get players, um, and fill up the different positions that they need um where they need help at. And yeah, you mentioned some other names like Senga too. I don't know how um I don't know how he would. I don't know his situation. I don't know how that would be possible to move him. I just think that whether he's in the rotation or he's in the bullpen, I don't think he's going to be to any contribution to the Mets right now. I feel like Peralta is another guy. I feel like he should get traded as well. One, because he has a year left. This is a walk year. He's gonna walk. He's gonna go into free agency, and it's not guaranteed that you guys are gonna get him back. You know what I'm saying? So, and like you said, he's been inconsistent. So, I feel like um guys could probably get some bullpen pieces for him too. You know what I mean? Because I know you guys need some bullpen help as well. And yeah, I mean, obviously you guys have started with the coaching. You mentioned Albert Pujols. Pujols, I honestly think would be a great manager. I feel like they should also give Carlos Beltran a chance. Um,
Did he have a chance though? I'm just
he
trying to
had a
remember. He had
chance.
that
I
one.
feel
He
like he
had
had
that
a
one
chance
game.
a few years ago. I don't know if you
Yeah,
remember the
yeah,
whole cheating Astro scandal happened.
yeah.
But I feel like I understood why they. He's like the only manager that I can remember that has gotten hired and then fired without winning or losing a game.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. But I feel like they should revisit that. I feel like he's a baseball guy and a very smart baseball guy. So I feel like he's another guy that I feel like the Mets should look into. If you want to get things going again in Queens. So definitely. But there's a lot going on with the Mets that just has it just I feel like a clean house has to happen. A clean house.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. Just 'cause, like I said, the team has shown a lot of potential this
Yeah,
season.
but the thing
It's
is,
been
the thing
pitchers that
is, and
pitchers.
I don't,
Yeah.
I disagree because the thing is, you guys are in fifth place. How is that potential? That's not potential. Potential to me, if you guys were moving up to third place, second place, you're catching up to the Phillies and the Braves. I don't
Well,
see
we beat the Phillies yesterday.
Yeah, but that's one game, and
Yeah,
that's
but that's what I'm
that's
saying.
one
Like the team,
series, and you guys are still in last place in your division.
right? Because pitchers can't like go deep. Like pitcher, there's like so it's not the offense. It's not the like the offense has been a bit inconsistent as well, but not as bad as the pitching. So I think if you increase your pitching, and you could make some moves. If I'm the Mets front office and I'm like, well, the offense doesn't look so bad. Maybe if we booster our pitching, or maybe you can figure out how to turn Peralta into another starting pitcher that you can get. Like, I know they've been like they've been trying to see if they can get Sandy Alcantara from Miami, but we don't know if Miami's gonna try to contend as well because they're not doing so bad. You got guys like Zach Gallen, Mitch Keller, Miro Kelly. I feel like there's guys that you can like get and maybe see what happens, but I
I,
wouldn't say to get rid of everyone,
I
to be
think that
honest.
the message is punt the season at this point. I
Well,
feel like
I said like, yeah, it seems pretty obvious.
I feel like they need to get rid of who's not contributing, in my opinion. And I feel like their main focus right now should be build around Juan Soto, because you're gonna have Juan Soto for a long time, and he's still young. He's what, 27? He's young. So build around him, build a team. Let him lead for once. Let Juan Soto be the face of that franchise. Let him, guide the young guys, and let's see what happens. Obviously, like I said, the mess already started. They fired Mendoza. Great, good start.
Hmm.
Now build around Juan Soto. Get rid of guys who are not contributing. Because if not, next year we're gonna be in this. You guys are gonna be in the same position. You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure, yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, I've watched every single Met game like this season, so I've seen like a good team. Like I've seen a team that can like compete. I just don't, like I said, there's just been at times where they've had leads and then pitchers have not been able to keep leads, and so I think that speaks to coaching more so. And so I think just I honestly think that the two additions they need, the two things they need to do is just get a really good coach and trade Lindor, as you said. Like, yes, hand over the team to Soto, let him lead, but I don't know. I'm a Met fan, so I'm gonna believe, and I think that they, like I said, I think yesterday was the start of something good. There's still time. I mean, you can go into the wild card maybe, but I just didn't like that there was an interim manager. I would have preferred if you like actually had gotten a name just for Met fans to be like, okay, like we're not giving up. But I feel like that was waving the
I
white
like
flag.
the fact that Mets front office is not rushing to get a manager,
Hmm.
because you got Carlos Mendoza, and he did good his first season, 2024. After that, it's been downhill. I feel like, like I said, they need to get a guy that's gonna, get these guys together, get these guys going. You know what I mean? I honestly, I would love to see Alex Cora here in New York. I like to see a guy like that, because
Right.
I remember a few years ago he was like, the way that, I think this was 2023, 2024. I don't exactly remember the year, but I remember the before the season started, he told his guys they did not have no superstars. Mookie Betts wasn't there no more. None of these guys were there anymore. And he was like, if you guys don't come here to win, then don't come here. That's what he told his guys. He didn't have a superstar on the team, and they had a decent season. So I feel like a guy like that coming to Queens would be. It doesn't necessarily have to be Alex Cora, but it has to be somebody, a manager with that type of mentality. So I, I feel like the Mets right now, just like you said earlier, they probably gave up on the season already, and just, I guess, preparing for next season and what can they can do better, and just see where they can move forward with this team.
Yeah, because they got guys that even like I feel like I've noticed as a fan like the as I'm watching the games that Mark Vientos plays like very different when he's just with Soto versus when he's just with Lindor, which is interesting because like when he had his little coming out party against the Dodgers like 2 years ago in the playoffs, that postseason run Mark Vientos was like so good. Then he took a step back last year, and now this year it's been up and down. But someone like him, like he's also interesting because I'm like, do you get rid of him and get some value for him because he's also young, or do you continue to stay patient with him? Um, I don't want to compare him to Ben Rice, but like I feel like he has so much potential, but I just don't know what it is with Mark Vientos at times where he's just not consistent enough. I don't know if that's a player you've like watched a lot, but or you
Yeah,
want to give your take on.
I remember 2 years ago how he was killing the Yankees. Like,
Yeah,
I was honestly very impressed with this young kid. Like, I was like, yo, this guy got potential, and I actually thought that last season he was gonna have a similar season to 2024, and like you said, it hasn't been like that. He's been a little inconsistent, but obviously you mentioned something very important. He plays different when with Lindor than when he does with Soto.
Yeah,
This is what I'm saying. Like I feel like the young guys would they would it would benefit them, being under Soto's leadership.
for sure. Yeah, another guy that's really good. That's like a young stud is Carson Bench. Like I really like this kid a lot. Really great talent. I think that's somebody you want to like you know give more playing time to as well. Um, I don't. That was the thing I also kind of noticed too with Mendoza. He didn't really know how to like manage a roster so well. I feel like he had a lot, and then because of these injuries, these young studs started to like pop up, and so I'm not sure the manager too. Like, if you get a manager, are they gonna focus on talent development and just like give these young guys a chance, or are you just gonna keep going back to like the same formula of like let's keep getting like stars, like kind of washed up stars. So I'm curious to see what the front office does too. Like a lot of people were saying that they maybe should have fired the front office as well.
Yes,
Um,
that was gonna be
yeah,
my next question. So, do you think that the GM should still have his job, or should he be gone as well?
yeah, that one is really tricky to me just because I feel as fans, right? Like we sometimes like we ask for a lot, and but then we do get what we want. I feel like a lot of the vibes that was going around, like it was split between Met fans. Like obviously there were Met fans that were sad that we got to see Nemo and like Pete Alonso. I don't know if you saw, actually they kicked out a fan at the
Yeah,
stadium the other day because he
yeah,
had a fire the GM and he kicked him out. I thought that was pretty. That was our Charles Oakley like moment at Madison Square. He was trying to say fire Dolan, but that's the turnaround right there. That's a turning point. But nah, man, I think it's so tricky. I want to say yeah, they should have cleaned house, but at the same time, he has like they have done their part like in the off season. They just didn't. I do think like the only way I fired him is this, like, why did you hire two guys to play the same position? Like, why didn't you have a plan for Lindor before the season even started? Like, why even if you signed Bo Bichette, like, to me that was already like when I saw that move, I was like, okay, so that means Lindor's gone. Like, I didn't even think we were gonna start the season with Lindor. So I don't know if there was a trade they had already in place, but it didn't fall. It fall through, and so they had to keep Lindor now. But um, I might give him another year. Like I think. What do you think?
yeah. I would give him another year as well. Um, just because I don't think he's been on the job that long. Like you said, I feel like um David Stearns, he's done uh he's done a lot
Hmm.
and getting players, getting who he needs to get. I feel like he's also done questionable moves as well. Like I'm not a big fan of him not even sitting down with P. Alonso in the off season, not even sitting down with him or having a meeting with him or potentially bringing him back. I definitely wasn't a fan of that. I actually I like Pete Alonso a lot, so I was actually, even as a Yankee fan, I was kind of sad to see him leave because I feel like he was a great representation of the Mets, and I actually wanted to see him, retire the Met. But obviously, that's most likely not gonna happen. Um, I feel like like you said, the fans have gotten what they wanted. He got Juan Soto. He's gotten a whole bunch of players. Boba Shed. He's gotten as many players as he could. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like, you know, as a GM, I get it. You like, here. This is the roster, and I feel like it's also the manager's job to manage it. That's what they call the manager. Like, okay, if I feel like the manager too should analyze and be like, okay, if this person is not uh is not doing good. So the past couple of games, let's give another person a chance. And if this player is doing better, let's keep this player there. And you know what I'm saying? It's like for example, like like Brian Cashman this year with Anthony Volpe, right? Anthony Volpe started in AAA. He was hurt, but then after he was activated from the injured list, um, he didn't come up right away. He stood in AAA for like another week, another 2 weeks. If you see the way Volpe has been playing this year, he's playing like he has a chip on his shoulder, like he has a lot to lose because he doesn't want to go back down. So I feel like that's something that I feel like maybe the GM should do, the David Stern should do with some of the guys. Like, okay, if you're not performing, maybe we need to send you down to AAA for a few weeks, and then maybe when they come back, they have that in mind. Like, oh, yo, like I could lose my position and I could go back down to AAA because no players want to go be up and down from AAA to MLB. So I feel like that's something that he should do. I'm not saying he doesn't do it, but he should do more often because I feel like it forces players to be more conscious of, okay, I could lose my position. And the same thing with the superstars. Not something to AAA because obviously you paying them a lot of money, but if they're not doing good, sit them down for a few games, sit them down for a series. You know what I mean? Be like, no, you're not playing this series. You haven't been doing good. Maybe you need time to reset and rewire, and because it happens. It happens in sports. Even the best of the best sometimes don't perform the way they need to perform. Like Bob Bichette, for example. I'm like, wow, like this guy he was something in Toronto. Like this guy was they he was an all-star in Toronto, and now I don't even recognize this guy no more. Like I don't recognize him. He's been making errors. I know that third base is not really his position, but even his hitting is not all that great. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've seen Bo Bichette a lot. He played the American League East. So the Yankees see Toronto a lot. So I've seen this guy a lot. I know the potential that he has, but just seeing him this year is like it's like, yo, like what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So it's like guys like that, I feel like the manager should be like, yo, I'm gonna sit you down for the series. I feel like you need to rewire, reset, because this is something not clicking with you right now, and I need you to figure it out.
Yeah, I still can't get like used to Bo Bichette and the Mets. It's like seeing Michael Jordan at Wizards. Like, bro, like it's weird because I also always thought he would finish his career in Toronto. He just seemed like
Yes.
one of those guys that would just be there for his whole career. But playing in New York is different than playing in Toronto. I'd say for sure.
Yeah,
Like
very different.
you see a lot of stars like in different sports, like teams that are just like stars, but once they come here to New York, it's like different. And so I think he's one of those he's kind of still adjusting. I think playing out of position might be a thing too for him. Yeah, man, I don't know what this team, like I said, I think, like I said, you get some pitching, I would love to go Alex Cora. I saw some people say if you get Pujols, you should get Beltran at the same time so they can show Soto and Lindor how to not get along even more.
You might as well get Jeter and A-Rod on the Mets coaching staff. You might as
For
well
real, right?
teach them how to get along on the field, and then after that deal with your issues the way you want to deal with them.
Yeah, I mean it's right in front of us. Like we just got to take it. It's right in front of us.
Famous Aaron Boone line. It's right in front of us.
It's right in front of
Right
us.
in front of us, and we're about to start hearing this soon because it's June.
Yeah, if I'm Mendoza, I'm like, yo, I got fired before Aaron Boone is crazy.
Oh man, that I don't know. Like, what's crazy about Aaron Boone? He's not a bad manager.
This has been his best season, though. I will give him that.
He's not a bad manager, and I know a lot of people. I've given him a lot of criticism myself, but I think this is one of his best seasons because you got Judge out, You got Stanton out. You got Max Fried out. You got Trent Grisham out. You got a whole bunch of guys out right now. And the bullpen is inconsistent with the Yankees. Um, Gary Cole hasn't been this month of June. He's been terrible, and the fact is that you're still competing. You're still you're still like head above waters. So just imagine the Yankee team that we will have if at least 75-80% of our guys were healthy. We would be forget about it. We would be, I don't know who could compete against us.
For
But
sure.
we shall see in August and September when a lot of these guys are back and we're in the playoff hunt. You know what I'm saying? So, I think Aaron Boone, um, I feel like if they don't win this year, I think they need to look elsewhere this year. I think he's been given too many chances, to be
You
honest.
you talking about Aaron Boone?
I'm talking about Aaron
Oh,
Boone.
I'm sorry, bro. I gotta disagree. I hate that you got me defending Aaron Boone right now. No, just based on this season, you can't. You couldn't.
Is that the thing is? The thing is, man,
Yeah.
this is the thing. Do you know the type of managers I like? Like the Alex Cora type.
Hmm.
That be like, yo, like I'm not here to play around, like the Mike Browns. That's what I want. But like Aaron Boone, yes, everybody they love him in the Yankees. I don't want everybody in the Yankees to love him. I want everybody in the Yankees to hate him because he's not there to play around. And I feel
Yeah.
like okay, right now they're not playing. Right now, like for example, these last two games against Boston, these last three games because they're on a 3-game losing streak right now. This I don't know what's going on. You beat the Tigers. You beat Scooble. You come over to Boston, and then all of a sudden you're on a 3-game losing streak. Boston is not having a great of a season. We should be beating Boston,
But
even
there's
with
a
the team.
but there
Even with the team that we have, we should be
yeah.
beating Boston.
But Boston's doing it for the love of the game, bro.
I don't.
Beating
I
the
don't. I
Yankees
don't
is a
listen.
whole different
Listen.
thing. It's a whole different animal, bro.
Listen. That Boston New York rivalry is always going to exist in my heart. We should not be. We should not be letting them beat us. Period. We should
I
not
mean,
be.
they was
The
punking the
night.
other day.
The other night. Let me tell you something. I was so embarrassed the other night.
Embarrassing, bro.
On Thursday, Cam Schlitzler. Every time he faces Boston, it's like when it's like when
When like Pedro
it's
Martinez,
like when Pedro was facing the Yankees.
yeah,
It was like that. And then all of a sudden, on Thursday, he had 4 unearned runs. Why? Because the Yankees made like 4 errors in that inning, and none of those runs were on him. It was on the Yankees defense. So it's like, bro, like how is it that we go from beating Scooble to having our best pitcher this season and not backing him up on defense, and then we allow 3-4 runs, unearned runs. You know what I'm saying? And then he took the loss. He took the loss without a earned run. You know how crazy that is. So it's like it's stuff like that kind of gets me upset. I don't like to put it all on the manager, but at the same time, it's like, yo, like I would go back in that clubhouse. Let me tell you something, bro. I knock TVs down. I'll knock trash cans down. I'll do all that stuff if I was manager, because I'm not tolerating, stupidities, especially
right,
defensively. I'm not tolerating that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's frustrating because sometimes I feel like if you see some of his press conferences, especially after the games, he's like, "Oh, a player could be doing bad." Like for example, Austin Wells, he's been terrible this year, and
every year.
but this year's been the worst. And the other day he was like, "Oh, he's getting out of the slump." What do you mean he's getting out of the slump? He's not. He's still in it. He's not getting out of it. So it's like this is a thing. Like my thing is like, yo, you need to hold these players accountable. I'm not saying you gotta publicly humiliate them. I'm not saying that you gotta do that. I'm not saying you gotta go on a press conference and say, yo, this player is trash. I'm not saying you gotta do that. You leave it to us. We'll say it for you. But I feel like you need to be like, as a manager, you need to be like, yo, like, this player is not performing. I get it. You know what I mean? It's frustrating for the fans to see. and we're obviously gonna do something about it. We're gonna continue to work on him, and we're gonna make sure that they get right. But of course, if they're not performing, we're gonna give somebody else another chance, and that's what they should do. Give another player another chance. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know. Another player might come and be the star in that position. So like Ben Rice. Ben Rice, his first 2 seasons he didn't get a lot of playing time because we had another first baseman. Now, this year they were like, okay, Goldschmidt, you're gonna have more of more like a substitute role, more of a leadership role, and Ben Rice got first base now. That's his position now. So it's like, okay, like that's what they need to do. If somebody's not performing, give somebody else the opportunity, because the thing is, what frustrates me about all this is that Aaron Judge is getting older. He's not getting younger. He doesn't have a ring. Garrett Cole, Stanton is in most likely next year is his last year. Max Fried, even though he has a ring, you would love to see him get a ring with the Yankees. You know what I mean? There's guys that are getting older. The window's closing, and when these guys are gone, what's next? Obviously, yes, we got Ben Rice. We have other guys that are coming up. Spencer Jones, George Lombard, that the guys that are coming up. But we have to wait another 10 years to see possibly another even a World Series appearance. Come on, we they got to get it together. And if you have to change managers, do it. It worked for the Knicks. If it has to happen here in the Bronx, it has to happen. It is what it is.
Yeah. I would say though, I don't think the Red Sox would have done that if Aaron Judge was playing though.
If who?
If Aaron Judge was playing, I don't think they would have done that.
Done what specifically?
Like the brawl that started the other day, like between the Red Sox and the Yankees.
Oh, I didn't even like the fact that he was on the field. Because
Right.
I mean, boy, you hurt. I need you. I don't want you to be out for the rest of the season. But talking about that, I feel like that was so unnecessary in the Wilson Contreras part, because if you look at that at bat, yes, the pitch was in, but that's because Wilson Contreras was inside the plate. So it's like he was trying to get hit. And it's like, bro, it's baseball. You know what I mean? The balls is going fast, and and if you're that close to the plate, you're most likely gonna get hit. And I don't think Will Warren was trying to hit him. You know what I'm saying? Like Wilson Contreras, this is not the first time he's had an issue like this season. So maybe you need to back off the play if you don't want to get hit, because there's guys that are gonna throw inside because they don't want you. They want to jam you up. You know what I mean? That's why guys throw inside, because they want to jam you up. So if you don't want to get hit, back off. That's what you gotta do. I feel like that whole situation was unnecessary. It was childish.
Yeah, bro. I thought it was hilarious.
I
liked it.
I don't know. I don't know if he was trying to bring back the rivalry from the 2000s. It didn't work. It didn't work. And you're right. If Aaron Judge was playing, I don't think they would have wanted to smoke. So if Stanton and Judge were playing, because those guys are giants.
Yeah. Or the almighty Anthony Volpe, bro.
Listen, he's been doing all right. He's there's stuff that he needs to work on. I don't think he'll be in New York for too long, because like I said, George Lombard is coming up. But he's been doing all right. But that's because he has a chip on his shoulder. That's because he probably got the warning, like, hey, you don't know what you got to do. You going back down to AAA, you're gonna stay there. And I feel like that's something the Mets should implement as well.
They told him, "You're going to the Mets if you keep playing like this." He was like, "Nah, I'm not trying to go over there."
I would have told him, listen, I heard Lindor might get traded, so we might trade you over there just for the fun of it.
Right.
So, but yeah, man, and but if if the Mets are not sellers this trade deadline, who do you think they should get if they decide not to sell? Who do you think are guys that they should get in the
They
trade
should
deadline?
they should probably get I would probably have I'd probably get Alex Rodriguez,
Oh
maybe the ghost of Beirut.
my
May throw in Grimace. Uh-huh.
god.
Nah, I think, like I said, I think it's pitching. I think there are some bats out there. Like, I think that Minnesota at some point wanted to trade Byron Buxton, but I think he's having a great season now, so I don't think they'll get rid of him. Or maybe they do, if anybody's interested. Um, there was talks of Vladdy back then. Vladdy's playing like horrible. I saw something about Tatis as well, which I thought was hard.
Yeah,
I was like, that doesn't make sense. They tried that already. He already played with him in the Padres, and that didn't work out. So, I think it's just pitching. Like I said, the names that like caught my attention. Like if you want to enter the school ball sweepstakes, I don't know if they have enough money to do that. If maybe you get rid of Peralta, you can maybe get that done. I like Zach Gallen a lot, and I like Mitch Keller. I like those two guys. I'm trying to think right now, but I just don't. Like I said, I don't. I guess I'm too much of a patient Mets fan. I'm sure other Mets fans will tell you get rid of, like you said earlier, get rid of everyone and just get new players. But like I said, I kind of like my young core, and then we have some vets. So give me like these next. When is the trade deadline? Like it's in 2 weeks.
August 3rd.
Oh, August 3rd. Yeah, so I'm gonna say this month of July is crucial. Like I think here we'll really know if the white flag has been like raised by the Mets or if they for some reason have a really great month of July and they decide to go all in. Then I think, like I said, it's just probably gonna bolster the pitching. Like we got Luke Weaver, the legend from the Yankees. Now he's been inconsistent too, but he has his like days and stuff. You guys could take back Devin Williams for sure though. Like I don't like
No, thank
I
you.
thought this year would be different with him.
Send them to the A's or something.
Yeah, we need a closer for sure. Like what's this guy's name from the Red Sox? I heard he might be going the
Chapman.
yeah, I would like to have him or who else? Who else? Bro, just give us Otani, bro. Can we have Otani?
Yeah, the Dodgers is not. Dodgers is not. They're not gonna give that up. But talking about the Dodgers, if the whole bargaining deal happens, like how a lot of people think it might happen, the Dodgers are gonna be in trouble when it comes to payroll next year.
Yeah, they'll have to let go of some players.
Yeah, and then I've been seeing some of the details of the negotiations, and there's not gonna be no more. There's not gonna be no more deferred contracts because the Dodgers half their team is deferred contracts. They're not gonna be
Everything's deferred, bro. The stadium is deferred.
everything though.
So
I
everything, the
think the whole stadium.
concession stand, the
I think
hot dog.
I
I heard
think
you can even pay for the food and say,
I
"Yo,
think they
can I defer the food?"
no lie, yo. Let me tell you something about the Dodgers. I'm gonna put it this way so people can understand the deferred contracts that the Dodgers have right now is like when you buy something and you use Klarna or what's the other PayPal and for
Yeah, yeah,
when
yeah.
you use those are deferred payments.
Nah,
That's
bro.
but when it comes to
Yeah,
the Dodgers, it's not in 4 payments. It's like 10 years. So
they on that Conway. They on that Conway layaway plan, bro.
yeah. Oh wow, Conway. Wow.
Yeah, bro. They on that.
Ah.
They on that. Yo,
Dude,
whenever you
go
got
back.
it, it's okay. Whenever you got it, just
Yeah.
they're
Wow.
Conway, so it's okay. We
Conway.
don't have to worry. You don't have to worry
Conway is
about it.
crazy. That's so yeah. The Dodgers are in trouble. But yeah, and also another detail that I read was that players over 30 and over can get a contract over 5 years. So like
Yeah.
so with some of these details, like what do you think about those negotiations?
Um. I know a lot of people hate the Dodgers for the deferring stuff, bro. But I, I don't know. I love like stories in sports, so I like for us to root for like to. I mean, to hate that one team. Like in basketball, you had the Warriors back in the day. In baseball, you used to have the Yankees in the early 2000s, late 90s, and I just feel like you gotta have that team. And I feel if you like the Dodgers are just using the system. They're taking advantage of the system, but that's what the system is, you know. And now they do change it. Obviously, they can't no more. But I think teams find a way regardless, bro. Like no matter what writing you put on these contracts, if the Dodgers were able to do it with this current contract, who's to say the next team doesn't find a way themselves, you know? So I just think they're getting old too. So I would understand if you did this like in the beginning of their run to try to stop them, but they're already on their way to a three-peat, which is possible. So even then, they might have. There's no way they're going four in a row. So I feel like this contract doesn't really do much because I think they would tell you themselves like we're probably gonna start getting rid of folks because that's it. Our run is great and let's start over. Let's start rebuilding again. Um, but I don't. It doesn't do much for me, to be honest. I don't. I If anything, I would ask like a 10-year-old right now who's gonna be like the future Dodgers GM, and like 40 years from now, he's like, "Yo, I can't believe they did this to me. Like, I gotta manage all this money. Like, I want to know what the cap is for like how much money they deferred. Like, when you know?
Billions, billions. And
Oh
I
my
feel like I
god,
feel like I feel like that's gonna hurt them in the next decade. It's gonna hurt them.
we won't be alive. Like, we might
Gonna,
not even
it's
be
gonna
alive
it's
to
gonna
see it.
hurt them. It's gonna hurt them because when Otani retires, I mean that's the best example to give. When Otani retires, they have to give that man $68 million a year for the next 10 years after he retires.
Yeah.
$68 million. Then you got Freddie Freeman, whose contract was deferred. Teoscar Hernandez contract was deferred. A whole bunch of guys on that team that their contracts were deferred, and you got to pay those guys. You got to pay those guys after they retire when they're not even playing anymore. And I feel like that's gonna hurt them. And if this new contract, this new MLB and MLB Players Association contract happens, it's gonna be very tough for them to sign superstars 10, 15 years from now because you're paying old superstars that are retired. So it's gonna be very, very difficult for the Dodgers to sign contracts, sign big contracts. And some of the details that I like about this negotiation is obviously the 5 year deal after 30 years old, 6 year deals for players to retain with their teams. I like those deals because I feel like those 10, 12, 15 year deals are ridiculous. I feel like realistically speaking, once a player turns 35 in baseball, I feel like that's when the decline happens. And
Mm-hmm.
you don't start seeing the same production anymore. And now these teams are stuck with these contracts, and they're like, man, we don't know what to do. We can't get rid of them because nobody's gonna take a old player with and they gotta pay this player $50 million a year. They don't want to deal with that. So I like that part of the negotiation. One thing I don't really like about the negotiation is that they're trying to put a cap. I like the how you call it, the salary floor. I like that because I feel like when it comes to the luxury tax and these teams pay luxury tax, I don't know if you knew this, the luxury tax money goes to small market teams. It goes to these owners.
Mm-hmm.
And these owners from these small market teams are not buying players. They're
Yeah,
not,
they just keep the money.
they just keep the money. And I feel like the argument with this whole negotiation with MLB and the Players Association is that, oh, we have to put a salary cap because the big market teams are the ones winning the most World Series and the small market teams are not. Okay, but there's a luxury tax. The luxury tax is that money is going to the small market teams, and these small market teams are not spending money. So maybe you should put a salary floor to force these teams to spend because obviously they're getting the luxury tax. So I don't like the salary cap at all. I feel like you said, that in baseball is great for baseball. There's always that one team that collectively we hate. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that if they it's gonna be. I feel like if there's gonna be a lockout this year, next year, I mean, it's gonna be because of that, because of the salary cap. I think that's where the Players Association and MLB is bumping heads when it comes to that. They want a salary floor, but the Players Association don't want a salary cap,
Hmm.
because then owners start to get a little greedy. They don't wanna spend, and I feel like you need to force the owners to spend. You have to force them to spend.
Yeah, I find a way to. If anything, I like the short deals too because I never understood those like 10 to 15 year deals. That to me made no sense. But I don't know if it's already a thing, but just like for rookie contracts or just let's just say for a player like Paul Skeens, right? Like as an organization, you can't like tie him up or keep him there if he doesn't want to be there. I feel like for those like young rookies, they should have the option to see if this franchise is for them coming out of their rookie contracts. I would like to see that because I think there would be more like guys that move around from small markets to maybe bigger markets, but maybe that might benefit bigger market teams. But
Yeah,
I'm not sure how you feel about that.
I feel like, but in regards to like rookie contracts, I don't know. I know that they're trying to up the salary to 1 million now, which is
Hmm.
great. Um, I also feel like um maybe the service time should be less. Maybe because I know the service time when it comes to rookie contracts is like 6 7 years, depending when they come up. I feel like they should probably get moved down to maybe 5 years.
Yeah,
I nobody wants to be stuck with a team that's not gonna do anything. Like for example, like you said, Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens, he's with the Pirates, but what are the Pirates doing? How are they building around him? He's if to me, if the Pirates don't get serious within the next 2 years, Paul Skeens is gone. Paul Skeens is going to a big market team, and I feel like he can handle it. I feel like he can handle a big market team. I hope he comes to the Yankees though. I'm waiting for him.
I don't know about that, but we'll see. But like I said, like you said, I think how many years do you know he's been in the Pirates?
This is his third year. This is
Third year.
yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, I would agree with you too. Like maybe a year, because what I hate sometimes about baseball is that we have these great players, like these great talents, and we see them do like spectacular things on these small franchises, and you're just like, damn, like I wish you would be doing that like on a bigger stage or for a bigger team. But then you're like, this team has locked
but
them
then
up for like the
but
next
then
five,
this
seven
is
years.
this is my argument when it comes to the luxury tax.
Yeah,
Owners are getting that money. Why are they pocketing it and not spending it on building a team around the young superstars? Why are they not doing that? Why, the Pirates had years without making a big free agent signing. I forgot who was it that they signed. I think Marcelo Osuna was the guy that they signed this offseason. They didn't have a big free agent signing or a huge the last time they did anything like a huge contract was 2016, 2017. You had all those years without getting a player to sign a big contract. All those years, what are you doing with the luxury tax?
yeah, because I know if he was like if he was on the Yankees, like
Oh, they will build
year
around him.
year two, they would have already been building around, or they would have already been like, "Yo, we're going all in. We have this ace right now. Like let's." But like small market organizations or just teams that don't want to spend, just they kind of take those players for granted. And I'm sure those players are like, "Yo, if I had a smaller contract, if this was if I was only on a 3 year deal or 4 year deal, I can maybe I'm still in my prime, or maybe haven't. I don't even think he's hit his prime yet. Like he's getting there, you know. So
He's peak right now, man.
yeah,
He's peak right now. When he's gonna be in his prime when he win more Cy Youngs, when he wins World Series, and watch, you're gonna see he's post games where I know he's not staying with the Pirates. They're not spending. They're not
yeah,
spending it, and that's why the salary floor is important. Forget the salary cap, man. The spending is the Mets at one point. You remember the Wilpon era?
yeah.
They didn't spend no money. But now the Mets spend money left and right. Now the Mets fans love that their owner is willing to go above and beyond. But that's what these other teams need to do. If you're getting luxury tax from these big market teams, spend the money. You're gonna make. Let me tell you something. You're gonna make money when you start winning. When you start winning, and you start winning championships and making a play, you're gonna make more money. And that's one thing that George Steinbrenner back in the day understood. If I win, if my team wins and they continue to win, I'm gonna make more money because when you're winning, obviously the ticket sales go up. The season is longer. People start buying merch. People start they start contributing to the team a lot more financially.
But all right, bro. I think that's all the time we got. I can't believe we really. Damn, I wasn't sure we were gonna be able to spend a whole hour talking about the Mets and Yankees, but we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm proud of us. We were supposed to have a special announcement for you guys at this time, actually, but this thing, I'm trying to figure out how to do it. So we will still have it. I don't know if you want to tell the folks where they can find it or.
Yes. So as you guys know, last week I announced the release of the Proposito anniversary hats. As you can see that we're wearing it, we're rocking it. We got 1 year now. Thank God that we launched this brand. It was been a little bit over a year actually, but we got it. We're celebrating 1 year anniversary, and we wanted to show you guys the video that we did. But obviously, we're still trying to figure this thing out. I let Caesar deal with a lot of the technology stuff because I'm not that tech savvy. But yeah, the video will drop today. It's going to drop on Instagram, PropositoApparel. So check it out there. You're also going to be able to see it on Caesar's Instagram pages, and obviously on my personal Instagram as well. You're going to be able to see it. And I want to thank everybody that contribute. Isaac, shout out to Isaac. Isaac is a beast at what he does. I give him, I give him the vision, and he brings it to life. Caesar for always saying yes, for always helping me. My boy Will as well. That Will did he did the voiceover for the video. I was gonna do it, but I don't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do everything. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to him, and just shout out to everybody that's been supporting this past year. Also very important as well. Right now, every sale that we're making, we're giving that money to support Venezuela. I have a lot of customers from Latin America. So what happened in Venezuela a few days ago, it really broke my heart. I'm not doing this for clout. I'm not doing it. I'm doing this because I felt it in my heart to do it. God put it in my heart to do it. So if you want to support, all you have to do is buy a hat. All the profits is going to support Venezuela. We're gonna do this for the next couple of days. So make sure you guys visit PropositoApparel.com so you guys can see the hats that we have available, and all the money is going for a good cause. I'm not keeping none of it. I'm sending it off to help Venezuela, and and this is why this is why it's very important to find a purpose in life. You know what I mean? Because it's not about just taking. It's also about giving when we can. You know what I mean? If God blesses us, it's good that we bless others, especially in times of need. So thank you all, and man, I'm excited for what we got going on next.
Absolutely, bro. Yeah, and I'm so happy you're doing that for those people. God bless you
Yes.
for doing that. Like
Man.
those people like are going through a rough time, so it's important. Like as you said, like this hat is more than just a brand. It's a meaning. It's a feeling. And so we appreciate everyone that's been supporting. Anyone that just leaves a comment, anyone that just leaves a like, or even if you just viewed the video and you took time to just take 1 second of it. We appreciate every single person, Um, Manny's trying to build something special. I'm over here on this side building something special. So just continue to support. We appreciate you guys, and stay tuned for the next episode of For the Town podcast. And then
For the town.
For the town, and there's also a banner there where you can get all our socials and stuff and hashtags, and so run those numbers up and drop those hashtags. But we appreciate y'all. Enjoy y'all Sunday. And do you have any stuff coming up though that you want to announce, like besides just the video? Or
The video that, oh yes, I forgot to
yeah.
mention this. The hat drops on Friday. PropositoApparel.com. It drops on Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern. So just stay tuned. And yeah, that's all for now.
Awesome. And then you guys can catch me Tuesday. I'll be live streaming World Cup games. I'm probably gonna do a lot of live streaming of like, just because now we're in the elimination stages, and so I think I'm probably might do for a specific couple of teams, but just stay tuned for that, you guys, and card openings and all that good stuff. So just make sure you follow, support, and we'll see ya next time.
All right, y'all. Take care, y'all. Blessings.
Bless.